Welcome to the video that will change how you see the world and how the world sees you. Most people live their entire lives without ever truly seeing. They walk into rooms and miss the truth. They talk to people and miss the lies. They laugh, they nod, they agree. But deep inside, they have no idea what's really going on. They are not stupid. They are simply blind to human behavior. But you are not like them. You are here to learn a power, the silent, invisible, unstoppable power of observation. This is the skill that separates the weak from the wise. This is the skill that lets you read people without saying a word. This is the skill that makes you unpredictable, unforgettable, and unbreakable. It is not taught in school. It is not written in textbooks, but it is used by spies, leaders, CEOs, psychologists, and masters of human behavior. And today, it will be yours. And the best part, every single moment of this video will also improve your English, your listening, your understanding, your sentence flow. So stay with me till the end, and I promise you will never look at people the same way again. Let me ask you a question. What do the best poker players, detectives, FBI interrogators, top negotiators, and world-class entrepreneurs have in common? They don't react first. They observe first. They walk into a room and know who is nervous. They shake your hand and know if you're lying. They hear one sentence and know your entire mindset. How? Because while the rest of the world is busy talking, they are busy watching. Imagine a man sits quietly in an airport lounge. Next to him is a little girl, maybe 6 years old. She's holding a teddy bear, swinging her legs, and talking nonstop. "Daddy, do you think the clouds move faster than planes? Daddy, do you think teddy bears get scared when they fly? Daddy, can I tell you a secret?" But the man doesn't answer. He's smiling. He's nodding. He's pretending to listen. But if you observe closely, just for a moment, you'll notice something deeper. His smile fades when she looks away. His fingers twitch on the coffee cup. His leg bounces, not from excitement, but anxiety. And in his eyes, there is pain. Deep, silent, hidden pain. Most people in the lounge see a sweet father-daughter moment. But the observer sees a man preparing for goodbye. Not a short one, a final one. 2 hours later, you watch that man place a letter in the girl's backpack. He kneels down, hugs her tightly, and whispers, "Be strong for Mom." She doesn't understand yet, but the observer does. He boards a flight alone. What's the lesson? Observation reveals truth that words can't speak. While the world sees smiles, you see signals. While others hear noise, you hear stories. That is the power we're about to unlock in this video. The power to see what most people will never see. A person who observes sees a fake smile behind a compliment, notices fear behind confidence, detects insecurity behind arrogance, and feels pain behind silence. They see people, not just personas. They feel truth, not just words. While the world reacts emotionally, the observer moves with wisdom. And here's the secret. When you observe more, you talk less. When you talk less, you reveal less. When you reveal less, people fear you, respect you, and never underestimate you again. Because you've become something else. Not a follower, not just a listener, but a watcher, a reader of human nature, a student of reality. This video is not just about observation. It's about awakening your silent genius. It's about making you smarter, calmer, more powerful, and more respected in every room, every relationship, every opportunity. It will help you understand your friends better, know who to trust, avoid manipulation, win interviews, negotiations, and conversations, and build emotional intelligence. The greatest success skill in the world. Skill 1. Watch the eyes, not the mouth. Most people are fooled by words. They believe what someone says, even if the words are fake. But a powerful observer knows words lie, eyes don't. The human face can smile. The voice can sound confident. But the eyes always tell the truth. In every conversation, the eyes reveal if the person is truly happy or pretending, if they are confident or nervous, if they are hiding guilt, sadness, jealousy, fear, or love. Imagine two people. A man just betrayed his best friend. He lied, and his lie caused real pain. Now he stands in front of his friend and says, "I'm sorry, bro. It was a mistake. It won't happen again." His voice sounds soft. His mouth is saying all the right things. His body is calm. He even gives a small smile. But if you watch closely, you'll see something strange in his eyes. His eyes aren't looking directly. They move left and right, like he's planning his next lie. He blinks too much, a sign of anxiety. His pupils are small, a sign of fear, not regret. That's the truth. His mouth said, "I'm sorry," but his eyes said, "I'm scared of losing you. Not because I'm sorry, but because I don't want consequences." A girl is sitting in a coffee shop. She's scrolling through her phone. Suddenly, a boy walks in, the one she secretly likes. She doesn't say a word. She keeps her eyes on her phone. But if you observe her eyes, they quickly glance up when he's not looking. Her pupils widen. Her blink rate slows down. The corners of her eyes soften as if her face is smiling from the inside. That's not just interest. That's attraction without confession. She said nothing, but her eyes told you everything. How to practice: stop looking only at the mouth. Start focusing on the eyes. Look for these signals. Pupil size: big equals interest or emotion. Small equals fear or tension. Eye contact: strong equals confidence. Weak equals nervousness or lying. Blink rate: fast equals stress. Slow equals calm or intense focus. Micro movements: look upside down when answering. That's thinking, hiding, or planning. Don't react immediately. Just watch. Let them show you who they are through their eyes. The eyes are controlled by the subconscious brain, not the thinking brain. That means people can't fake it. You can fake a laugh, a smile, a compliment, but you can't fake the truth in your eyes. When you master this, you'll know what people truly feel, even when they don't say a word. That's why this is skill 1. Skill 2. Watch the feet, the most honest part of the body. Here's a fact most people don't know. When it comes to body language, the most honest part is not the face. It's the feet. Why? Because most people try to control their face. They smile even when angry, look calm even when scared. But they forget to control their feet. And the feet always tell the truth. A man walks into a job interview. He's smiling, sitting straight, talking about his achievements. Everything looks perfect until you look at his feet. His feet are not flat. They're shaking slightly. One heel is lifted off the ground. His toes are pointed toward the door. That means his body wants to run, not stay. It means he's not confident. He's nervous or uncomfortable. Now the smart observer, the interviewer, sees this and asks, "Why do you want this job?" And because he observed the feet, not the smile, he already knows the man is faking confidence. In a meeting, your team is discussing a new project. Everyone seems to agree. Everyone is smiling and nodding. But you look under the table. One person's feet are crossed tightly. Their foot is tapping, bouncing fast. Their toes point away from the team. That's your signal. This person doesn't support the idea, even if their face is smiling. They will resist in silence or betray later. You just saw the future by observing their feet. How to practice: during conversations, quickly glance at people's feet under the table or while standing. Notice, are the feet pointing toward someone? That shows interest. Are they pointing away? That shows distance or discomfort. Are they bouncing or tapping? That's anxiety or restlessness. Are they planted firm and still? That's confidence. Start small. Observe people in coffee shops, waiting rooms, elevators. Don't make it obvious. Just notice. People don't train their feet to lie. They might train their voice, their smile, even their hands. But the feet move from instinct, not logic. That's why this is skill too, a secret window into the truth right at your feet. If you only learn these two skills, watching the eyes and the feet, you will already be more powerful than 90% of people in the world, because you'll see what others don't. And that's how the quiet become dangerous. That's how the ordinary become unforgettable. Skill 3. Micro movements. The silent truth in small actions. The truth is never loud. The real truth hides in the smallest, tiniest movements. The ones most people ignore or don't even see. A powerful observer is not looking for drama. They are looking for the small twitch, the quick scratch, the sudden head turn, the millisecond of hesitation. Because that's where real emotion lives. Guilt shows up in a neck touch. Stress appears in a lip bite. Anxiety lives in a shoulder twitch. A lie hides behind a sudden cough or throat clear. Most people don't even notice, but you will. After this skill, imagine a teacher asking the class, "Who took the answer key from my drawer last Friday?" The room goes silent. One student, Liam, sits calmly. His voice is confident. His back is straight. He raises his hand and says, "Sir, I wasn't even here on Friday. I went home early. I don't know anything about it." Sounds honest, right? But you're observing and you notice. As soon as the teacher asked the question, Liam scratched the side of his nose. Not a normal itch, a fast, nervous scratch that happens when someone is uncomfortable. Then, as he spoke, he looked slightly up and left. The direction people often look when they are constructing a story, not remembering one. And just as he finished his sentence, he quickly touched the back of his neck, a common self-soothing signal. Something the body does when it's under pressure or fear. Most of the class believed him, but the observer knows this boy isn't confident. He's hiding something. It wasn't the words. It wasn't the tone. It was those micro movements, the ones that screamed louder than his entire sentence. How to practice. Next time you talk to someone, focus on small movements. Fingers fidgeting, hand touching face, eyebrow raise, lip biting, sudden head tilt, clearing throat right before answering. Watch what happens right before or after someone speaks. The moment before speech often shows the real emotion, nervousness, doubt, guilt. Don't stare, just observe quietly. The more silent you are, the more you'll see. People are trained to control their face. They even learn to fake their smile. But micro movements are involuntary. They come from the nervous system, not the thinking brain. And that's why, when you learn this skill, you unlock a superpower that almost no one else in the room has. Small movements, big truths. If you learn to observe what's barely visible, you'll understand what most people will never even notice. Skill 4. Watch how they treat the powerless, the true test of character. You can fake a smile. You can dress well. You can speak with charm. You can control your eye contact and tone. But there's one moment when people show you their real self. When they are with someone who has no power, no status, no fame, no value to offer. How a person treats someone who can do nothing for them. That is their true identity. And most people fail this test because the truth hurts. You will observe people who seem kind, generous, friendly. But the moment they interact with a waiter, a janitor, a receptionist, a security guard, or a driver, they change. Their tone becomes sharp. Their words become rude. Their eyes stop seeing the human in front of them. That's when you realize they were never truly kind. They were just performing kindness for the powerful. This skill shows you the hidden cruelty in people. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. When someone interacts with a lower status person, do they smile the same way? Do they listen or interrupt? Do they say thank you or act entitled? Do they use their name or ignore them like background noise? Do they try to show dominance or create connection? The answer tells you who they really are. You're standing in a luxury hotel lobby. There's a businessman talking to the manager, smiling, laughing, using charming words. He seems confident, polished, respectful. Then a janitor walks by with a mop bucket. The water splashes accidentally just a little near the businessman's shoes. The businessman steps back and snaps. Can't you see where you're going? Stupid. He doesn't yell. He doesn't curse. But the tone changes. His eyes go cold. His smile disappears. He looks at the janitor like a problem, not a person. The janitor apologizes softly, and the businessman doesn't even respond. Now you, the observer, just saw something most people missed. That man's charm was only for the powerful. To the powerless, he shows his real face. Watch how people behave with waiters, drivers, cleaners, receptionists, staff at airports, hotels, or hospitals. Anyone below them in status, money, or power. Compare their behavior with how they treat their boss, their crush, their rich or famous friend. Ask yourself, is there a difference in tone, posture, energy, language? If yes, they are not truly kind. Trust this rule. If they're rude to the waiter, they'll be rude to you someday too. This is the purest test of character in the world. No acting, no pretending. Because people don't feel the need to impress the powerless. So they become lazy in their manners. And that's when the truth slips out. You're not judging. You're just observing what others ignore. And that gives you emotional protection and wisdom. Forget the fancy talk. Forget the polished words. If you want to know who someone really is, watch how they treat someone who can do nothing for them. That's the real truth. Skill 5. Stay calm, so you can actually see the truth. You've now learned 9 amazing observation skills, from eyes and feet to silence and patterns. But none of it matters if your mind is noisy. You can't observe when you're emotional, when you're angry, when you're overthinking, when you're too busy reacting, or when your own ego wants to be right. Because the more you talk in your head, the less you see with your eyes. And that's the final secret. True observation requires inner silence. You must learn to be still, even when others aren't. To watch without jumping. Feel without overreacting. Listen without interrupting. That's when the world opens up because they're too busy judging. He's probably lying. She's just showing off. I know people like this. This always happens to me. I can't believe they said that. This internal noise creates blindness. Instead of seeing, you start projecting. Instead of observing, you start assuming. And the truth gets buried under your own thoughts. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror, but the mirror is cracked and shaking. No matter how clear the room is behind you, the mirror shows a distorted, broken image. That's what happens when your mind is full of anger, ego, judgment, anxiety, drama. You're not seeing people as they are. You're seeing them through the broken lens of your emotions. To observe clearly, you must first fix the mirror. And that mirror is your mind. In every conversation, remind yourself, I am here to see, not to react. Pause before responding. Even 2 seconds of silence will give you more power than 1,000 fast words. Breathe slowly during interactions. Calm breath equals calm brain equals clear observation. Remove your personal filter. Don't observe based on your mood or trauma. Observe based on the other person's real signals, not your imagination. Say less. Watch more. The quieter you become, the more the world reveals. Observation is not just an external skill. It's an internal discipline. You cannot control people, but you can control your attention. And that attention, when calm and pure, becomes your greatest weapon. The most powerful observers are not the loudest. They are the calmest. They don't chase attention. They don't jump to react. They simply watch silently, wisely, patiently. And that's why they always see the truth, long before anyone else does. So now you know the truth. Most people walk through life blind, not because they can't see, but because they never learned how to observe. But you're different now. You've learned to read the eyes, to hear the silence, to catch the patterns, to feel the truth hidden in smiles, timing, and habits, to understand people without them saying a word. You're no longer just a listener. You're no longer just a talker. You're a watcher, a silent reader of the human soul. And this changes everything. Because when you observe more, you speak better. You think clearer. You choose wisely. You protect yourself from lies. And you attract respect without even trying. This is not just a skill. It's a superpower. The power to see people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be. And the more you observe others, the more you begin to understand yourself. Now listen to me, my friend. Use this power with wisdom. Not to judge, not to control, but to protect your peace. To build deeper connections. To live a life that's not fooled by noise, but guided by truth. Because the quietest person in the room is often the one who sees the most. And now that person is you. If this video helped you in any way, if you learned something powerful, if you felt something change inside you, if this made you look at people differently, then don't forget to subscribe to the English Avenue channel, because here we don't just talk, we grow, we learn, we master English through real transformation. So hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs it, and remember, the world is full of noise, but the real power belongs to those who observe. I'll see you in the next one. Stay silent, stay sharp, and stay powerful.